So, what's happening, bro?
That's a good question. Nothing is happening, man. It's just boring as hell. Uh, Trying to do whatever I can in the day, and the rest of the day is just sitting around, like doing nothing.
So, I mean, how are you killing time? Because I don't think being a cricketer, you're always on the road and you must not be getting enough time to spend at home, and now you have everything.
Like I don't even know what to do in this situation because I've never been home for such a long time, and with like no end in sight. I don't know when I'm gonna go out of the house. Like just in the morning, I went out and got some medicine, and it felt very weird to go out. Like, even after a week, it felt very weird to go out. So I don't know how how this is gonna progress.
What do you think? Like the first day after the lockdown is over, will you feel like a free bird again?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It all depends on how long this lasts. My sanity depends on that. So let's hope that this ends on 14th of April and things can sort of go back to normal. I know it's not gonna go back to the way it was completely, but I hope it gets better.
Okay. So just tell me who all are at home, how's everything? How's your mom, dad doing? How are you keeping them busy?
Mom and dad, they are just busy with. So my niece is here to stay with us. So my mom is busy with her. My fiance is here as well. So and my father and my other niece. So I have two girls, two nieces in the house, and my fiance and my mom and dad. So we just try and play Ludo. Like I have one training session in a day because that's all I can do with whatever weights and stuff I have. So that's probably an hour and a half of the day, and the rest of the day is just at leisure. Do whatever you want to do.
So who's been winning your Ludo games?
I never win, dude. I start off like I'm a rocket. Like I go off in a second, and like every time I'm close to winning, something happens. Something terrible happens. Something that you've not seen coming. So I don't win. I never win in Ludo. It's a very bad. It's a disappointment all the time.
I think you'll have to apply your cricket logic here also, just
It
play to enjoy and not to win.
it's more disappointing because my logic doesn't work there. Like I can strategize all I want, but just one bad move and one unlucky number, and it all just goes to hell.
Great, bro. So let's do one thing. Let's just look at the year gone by
Yeah.
because we had a chat last year,
Hmm.
and since then it's been a long time. So just want to understand. I mean, it's been a great year for you in
Hmm.
domestic cricket. Your game has grown in abundance. You have done really well. So how hard the road has been, and how satisfying are the results for you?
It's not necessarily been harder than the way it was. The only change is it's been more precise. Everything that I've done more precisely, and I've done more in a more targeted manner. What I always struggled with is being able to perform consistently, which was something that I've always wanted to improve about my game. And this year, I made sure that I have right processes in the place, and I have right proper ways to analyze my every performance and every failure. So every time I've gone onto the field, I've gone in with a very specific uh, preparation for that particular game, and like it has paid off. But like I said, I would like to continue to build on this. I've learned a lot of things about my game which I failed to notice before, or or perhaps I noticed them, but I didn't pay enough attention to them. But paying a lot of attention to them now, paying a lot of attention to detail has been a lot of help. And performance is just something that it just keeps happening. if you follow the process right, and you won't even be able to pinpoint where you got things right. So that's the beauty of having a good process in place and following it religiously, and just be on it day in day out, and good things will start happening before you know it.
Right, bro. So I understand about the processes and you not being kind of, you're saying you can't pinpoint at something that changed. But I definitely feel that there's something you had spoken about, right? After the season last year with Delhi Capitals, when you suffered your injury, you were out for the season and you went to Goa, got some time off. And that's where you started reflecting on how things have been for you. And you made a decision, right? That why am I playing cricket? I want to enjoy. I love this game.
Right.
And somehow in the pressure, you said you forgot why you are playing this game. And it
Yeah.
was more about pressure, pressure, pressure. So
Yeah.
after that conversation, I look at your career and I see, okay, this last year has been the best of your career. So has that change of mindset helped you rediscover yourself?
Yeah, I'm very sure, because like every time you find yourself in a complex situation, it helps you to sort of simplify everything. And like after that injury, I found myself in I felt a little lost, because I didn't know what I needed to do to actually get better, and actually perform the way I was doing in the training sessions. So I was doing really well. I was confident in the training sessions, but unfortunately, the tournament ended very early for me. So I realized that I'm only focusing on preparation, and I'm not focusing on performance, which are two completely different things. Being able to prepare is one thing, equally important, but at the same time, being able to perform, being able to take that preparation into the field is equally important. And that has a lot to do with enjoying the surroundings, enjoying that pressure, enjoying your job, whatever you do. Every single ball that I bowl, I should be able to enjoy it. I should be able to enjoy everything that comes with it, the success, the failure, everything. So yeah, that was sort of an eye-opening
Hmm.
realization, and I took it from there.
Great. Bro, so now when it comes to various formats that you have played in the last season, I mean, we have seen your form and across formats, right? You were third highest wicket taker, fourth highest run scorer in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Then you went on to become the first bowler to pick up 50 wickets in this Ranji season. So, how difficult is it to adapt so quickly between the formats? Because there's not even much gap, right? Once you
Yeah,
start
we
playing a
had a
certain format. Yeah.
week after Syed Mushtaq Ali ended and Ranji Trophy began. So it's just mental adjustments that you have to make. You can't do a lot of skill work in that time, because we had played 11 T20 games in probably 25 days. So, and with traveling and all, I was pretty exhausted physically. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to put in a lot of physical work. All I needed to do is tweak my mental side of the game. So when you move on from T20 to red ball, there are certain things that you have to dial down, because you won't be able to sustain that sort of intensity that you have in T20 game into a 4 day game. So that is one thing. Another thing is just patience. Red ball is all about patience. How long can you bowl that channel, and how consistently can you hit those areas, regardless of what's happening, whether you're getting wickets or not. So it's just that little mindset that had to be tweaked, and whatever physical work I could do to gain a little bit of strength back. Those are the two things that I focused on, and like Ranji Trophy was a dream season this year as well.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
and like
yeah.
to share with you what I was feeling exactly a year before. I had put this on
Hmm.
Instagram as well. I had 23 wickets in 9 games. Playing in Lali is a sin. Like
Hmm.
if you play 4 or 5 games out of 9 in Lali, and you end up getting 23 wickets in 9 games, I absolutely felt like rubbish throughout the season. Every time I failed, I felt like I failed my team. But again, like if I kept thinking like that, things wouldn't have changed for me. So I went back to sort of simplifying things, and it worked out.
Uh, would that be fair to say that that's your favorite ground to play in India in terms of assistance to fast bowlers?
Yeah, in Lali, things are pretty simple. The intensity of the game goes a bit high because
Hmm.
for most games end in probably 2.5 days.
Hmm.
So the intensity of the game is a lot higher. But all you have to do is just go there and bowl those areas, which is uh, which is true for a lot of places in North India, especially in winter. But Lale is special because uh, it has a lot of advantages, being an open ground, water
Hmm.
level being very high, being a very cold place. So it has a lot of advantages for the bowler. But at the same time, if you don't bowl the right areas there, the batsman can sort of get away. So
Right.
it does have its advantages and challenges. But yeah, I love playing in Lali.
Great. And in terms of batting, like, is it really challenging to bat out there?
Yeah, not for me because see, I don't have to go out there and struggle like a batsman because I know that my technique is not good enough to play 100 balls and score 30 runs. Uh, so I decided this season that I'm gonna do what I know best. I'm gonna play my shots and put the bowlers under pressure. And in Lali, if you play a cameo of 40 runs, 45 runs, even 30 runs at times can be very very valuable. So my only focus in Lali is to score runs, and the number of deliveries that I play doesn't really matter. So I look at it that way, and I just try and hit everything I can, and score as many runs as I can.
So, how much have you changed since taking on the captaincy?
Yeah, see, I always used to think that I don't want to lead because it has a lot of things attached to it. You are responsible for an entire team, for all their performances, all their failures, and it can sometimes be a little overwhelming. But at the same time, if you look at life, you're gonna have to lead. You're gonna have to lead your family. You're gonna have to lead your like there are so many things where these leadership capabilities are important, and I realized that I needed to learn these capabilities in order to succeed not only in cricket but in life as well. So I took it as a challenge, and yeah, I read a few books. I got a few ideas out of listening to people, listening to great leaders, and yeah, I've been trying my best, and I think I'm getting better. I think I'm a little more patient with people, which has been a shortcoming for me. So yeah.
Any one experience you feel that you or your team was really down and I mean you did something you felt really proud about? Maybe a pep talk or anything you would remember.
Yeah, I'm not a big pep talk fan because I always feel that that fire has to be within you. Sometimes it needs to be ignited. So yeah, those talks do help, but I I look at every situation as a challenge for myself. And I remember between the season, I got viral fever and I was very sick for almost 15 days. I couldn't stop coughing, and I had all the symptoms of flu, runny nose, stuffy chest, everything. I had a little bit of fever all the time. So in those 15 days, I decided to push on and not take a break because I knew that my team needed me. I'm in good form. I'm doing well, and we were winning. So we wanted to continue that momentum. And the way I played those two games against Chhattisgarh and Services was something that I was really proud of. And even though I was not 100% physically, I made sure that I was setting example all the way through for the team.
Nice. Okay, now let's get a bit into your personal side. Uh, you love traveling, right?
Mm.
So, I mean, you have been to the States one more time recently. So, how
Yeah.
was that experience? Where all did you go?
The timing for that experience was absolutely perfect because I had just finished a very, very long season. Ranji Trophy had just ended for us, and I decided to go there for 10 days. And luckily, my brother and my sister-in-law they were planning a trip to Colorado uh, and the Rocky Mountains, which is a beautiful place to be in winter. But I'm not used to that cold, so it was a shock to my system. But it's such a
Hmm.
magical place. So, like I was saying, my family is there, so it's always good to visit family, and the places that we usually go to are really beautiful, and it's just a way for me to unwind after a long season.
I have been looking at your Instagram post right now from Rocky Mountain National Park,
Yeah,
snow-clad mountains in the background. You're
yeah,
standing in the snow.
yeah.
So, how was that experience?
So we went on a hike, and luckily it was snowing that day. Though even though the temperature was probably -7, -8, and
Hmm.
I never experienced something like that. But and I wasn't wearing any snow pants. I wasn't wearing proper shoes. I just had that snowshoe attachment to my sneakers. So like the snow was going into my shoe, and my I couldn't feel my toes. So I was ill prepared to say the least. But like every time you look up, every time you look around, the views, you sort of forget everything that's happening. Um, but that view. So again, a beautiful experience, and something that I've never done before. I've never
Hmm.
hiked in snow.
Hmm.
A great first experience.
And the sky full of stars. It also looks amazing.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that was I. This was just a picture taken from my phone, so I couldn't do justice to it. But what I saw and what that picture tells you is something completely different. If you just go there and see it with naked eyes, it's a life changing experience.
Wow. Okay, so coming back to the quarantine period, right? So apart from playing games, what are you doing? Like, what are you watching? Which movies? Which music? I know you're a big music buff. So 80s, 90s. What's playing on your playlist right now?
Classic rock always 60s, 70s. That's always on my list. Uh, I've been listening to a lot of indie pop, um, then a lot of Coke Studio as always. Then some Indian classical. There's a channel on YouTube called Darbar, which has some unbelievable music videos of Indian classical music. Uh,
Okay.
so if somebody wants to go check that out, please do. And pretty much like I follow Ankur Tiwari, who's a musician on Twitter, and he puts out these playlists of curated music that he likes, and sometimes I listen to those as well. There sometimes he puts on a very good set of songs. So yeah, pretty much. And in terms of watching, I'm trying to catch up on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about that show, but I find it extremely funny. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of entertainment.
Any sports documentaries you have watched recently?
I watched the test. Uh, oh man, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it so much. The way it's made, the whole story of underdogs coming out and performing the way they did, and that Australian way of playing cricket has always resonated with me. Um, so I watched it in a day and a half. the
Wow.
entire. So yeah, I wish they would come come out with a season 2 soon. Uh,
Anything you remembered from your experiences with Ricky Ponting, because he has been part of the dressing room, right?
yeah, yeah. The thing I love about Ricky is he's always about the player, and I feel a lot of people fail to leave their careers behind when they retire, when they get into coaching. They fail to leave what I've done in their cricketing career behind, and they fail to entirely focus on how they can help the player. But Ricky is very different uh, because the amount of achievements he has in terms of his personal achievements, what he's done for the Australian cricket team, um, it's just unbelievable how humble that person can be, and uh, that's a very special quality to have in a coach. And I saw that in almost everyone that coached the Australian team. So I'm sure it's a pretty special setup to be in.
True. So, in terms of, I mean, the season, unfortunately, we can't. But do you feel the squad was shaping up ahead of the season?
Sorry, can you
Did you hear
repeat?
me?
Voice is lagging.
I'm saying, yeah. Can you hear now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. So I was saying that unfortunately the season has got postponed,
Yeah,
and it's such a bummer, but we can't do anything. I mean, circumstances are beyond us.
yeah.
But if you look at the squad, what do you think about the squad?
The squad looks really good, and like we have so many options for every spot in the 11, and our top five. It's just like it's hard to find a balance like that in any other team. And the sort of bowlers we have, the sort of all rounders we have, I think we have a really good chance of making it DC's first IPL title this year.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Uh, Moving towards last couple of things. I mean, new additions coming into the team. So how is it every season when new people come in? I mean, new friendships develop. How do things go?
Yeah, it's just like every time you sit together for a meeting, you learn something about your fellow players, how they see their game, how they see IPL, how they see cricket in general, and there's always something to learn if you observe closely. So I always look at that as an opportunity to learn and try and observe what these world class players do to prepare, how they perform, what is their mindset, and if you pay close enough attention, you can pick something valuable for yourself as well.
Right. Lastly, moving on to one of our favorite things, which is coffee. So how's that going on?
I've been drinking probably a liter of coffee every day. And luckily, I don't have like super caffeine sensitivity, so I can function on a liter of coffee and not go like haywire. But yeah, I love drinking coffee. I've been experimenting with a lot of different brewing methods, and unfortunately, I can't get different coffee right now. But like I've been experimenting with brewing methods, temperatures, ratios, all that stuff.
You stocked it enough for next couple of weeks?
I have 1 kilo of coffee beans left, so I hope this is over soon.
And I mean, Stoinis has joined our team. You must have
Yeah,
seen in the
yeah,
test.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, he's a big coffee buff. So
yeah,
some new friendships happening over there.
yeah. I'm sure we'll have somebody to share that passion with, and like coffee always brings with it great conversations. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Okay, bro. Anything else you would want to end this call with? I mean, a message for our fans who would be listening to you right now, or I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just the basic things. Stay in your home, follow the guidelines, try and be safe, try and keep your family safe. Do whatever you can to make yourself better in this time, and just enjoy this. I know it's a very stressful time for a lot of people, but just try and enjoy the time with your family and do things that you've not been able to do because of your normal routines. And hopefully, this all goes away soon, and we get onto the field.